It's week 11 of the Pro Mazda Championship here on iRacing Live, brought to you by Racebot TV, and we're at one of the most historic Grand Prix circuits in all of the world. It is, of course, the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, and what a magnificent venue we have for this race. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back with all the action.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you very much for joining us here on iRacing Live, brought to you by Racebot TV. It is the Pro Mazda Championship, week 11, and it is around Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. And what a fantastic venue we have. 4.35 miles, 21 turns, and it's going to be all the way to the end. An absolute just slipstream fest around this circuit. Hello there, my name is Paul Smith. I'm not Johnny Simon. He's currently away after doing the Road to Pro series. Joined by, once again, by Hugo Lewis on the cameras. And we've got a fantastic show for you tonight. And well, first things first, let's go through the championship standings as they are at the moment going into this race. And it is Julian Dunn who is in the lead of this one. Not that far ahead of Martin Arnoldus, though, second place. Just 26 points between those two. Gabriel Perez in third. He's not far off them either, so really close between the top three of the championship. Massimiliano Charavan, he's kind of in a bit of a no man's land there. He's in the 1200s with Daniel Quattrapani in fifth place. Everett Paddock and Aurelian Gumlewitz in 6th and 7th. Tessari in 8th with David Dendelo in 9th. And Craig Ridley rounding out your top 10. Really close in your standings there, you've seen. Well, what have we got here? The last time we saw them was, of course, around the circuit of Suzuka in Japan. And that was an interesting race. That was really hard fought race between those top guys, and certainly one that we thoroughly enjoyed. It was the first time I'd done the Pro Mazda Championship here, and well, this promises to be some really good, exciting racing. We're just in qualifying at the moment. Drivers just about to come to the end of their first lap here. And we'll be seeing the times as they come up. I'm looking at Alex Saunders at the moment. He's coming through the final chicane here, and he's going to come across the line now. Will he get a lap time in? And the answer will be yes, he does. 2 minutes 16.1, but that's already beaten by Gonzalo Carrera, and then several others coming in. Massimilian Sheraben has now taken provisional pole position. Keep an eye out though. Martin Arnoldus, there he is, comes across the line, second place, 2:15.5. He's going on to his second lap now. These drivers have got about 3 minutes remaining in this session. 23 drivers taking part today. Championship leader Julian Dunn moving up onto provisional pole position. So these drivers all coming through, trying to set the marker here early on. Pole position is crucial around this circuit. You can use the slipstream to your advantage around this track, but it's always good to get that pole position here today. Let's have a look. A few of the drivers who haven't set a lap time yet. Gimlewitz, Aurelian Gimlewitz now coming through. Blanchimont, end of a first flying lap. Going in towards the bus stop chicane. Of course, this was reprofiled in the late 2000s. Give us this really interesting outbreaking opportunity and overtaking opportunity. He comes across the line. This is Gimlowitz. He doesn't set a lap time here, so he's got one more lap to go here in this one. And don't forget, here on iRacing, if you're in qualifying and you do get an instant point, say for running off track, then your lap time does not count. And especially around this circuit, it's very easy to pick up those off-track penalties as you're going through here. And Gimlowitz now going up through Eau Rouge and Radion, and now up the Kemmel Straight. It's a quite an uphill actually. It's an uphill slope all the way to Le Con, which means that you can brake late into this chicane. This right, then left. Look how late he's braking there. Right, left, and then you've got Malmedy, this right-hander here coming up here. Around that he goes, heading towards Rivage, the 180-degree hairpin. Car always wants to understeer around here. Around he goes as Alex Saunders goes to the top of the standings now with a 2:15.2. Really picked up some time there as Alex Saunders, and that's his second lap, so he's done now. He's set his qualifying laps and he's got to wait for others to come through. Arnoldus now into third place. Oh, Bob Battalla, look at that, up in second place. The Iberia driver doing well. Just 0.04 of a second there off of Saunders. Keep an eye as the other drivers coming through setting lap times. There's only 3 drivers who have yet to set a lap time here today. Jeroen Rademacher up into 4th place now. He's moved up a position, and the times at the top of that standings are really close together. This is going to be a fascinating race, especially amongst the top 8. It's just a couple of tenths a second between those at the moment. Erling Gimlowitz now heading towards Blanchimont once again. Last chicane. He's got to make this lap count. If it doesn't count, he's going to be starting at the back there. Through the right and left. It's going to be tight, and he's not going to make it. So that's it. That's the end of qualifying, and here is how they line up on the grid here. Alex Saunders then taking pole position in this one. Bob Battalla in second place. Only, as I say, 0.04 of a second behind. Julian Dunn, championship leader, in third place with Jeroen Rademacher in 4th. That's the second row. Third row, Harley Lewis and Martin Arnoldus there. 5th place, Ismael Hernandez with Massimiliano Cheraben in 8th place. Look at that, just 0.2 of a second between 1st to 8th place. Then Gonzalo Camara 9th with Everett Paddock rounding out your top 10. And looking down the order then, look at you're looking down the order, and down to 17th is covered by 1 second. That's how close this pack is here today, and that's how good the racing is going to be here, that's for sure. It's going to be a slipstream fest. These drivers absolutely love racing around this track. I know I do, that's for sure. And well, the drivers now find themselves towards the starting grid now. Alex Saunders will take that pole position. It's on the inside for the first corner, La Source, and it's so crucial to make sure you're not getting involved in any shenanigans, any instance in towards that first corner, and then you go down the hill towards Eau Rouge. And this opening lap, it's going to be crucial for a few drivers to try and jump some of the others, but you don't want to be moving forward too early. If you feel that you're fast enough and you can make that breakaway, then yeah, move forward, get your positions. Otherwise, you're just going to sit back, wait in that slipstream, and hopefully get those positions. But the drivers now getting all set for 15 laps around Circuit Spa-Francorchamps. Waiting for those red lights to come on the iRacing.com Grand Trip. Drivers patiently waiting now. The revs will rise here. We're all set for this race. It should be a cracker. Green light is on. Away we go from the start, and it's a good start from Alex Sadler. Second place man is dropping back, and look at this. Third place Julian Dunn looking to the inside of the source for the first time. Will they all manage to get through here through turn number 1? The answer is going to be a categorical yes, they do. Fantastic stuff there at the start, but look at this side by side. Saunders and Dunn in towards Eau Rouge. It's like Webber and Alonso going into there. Through Eau Rouge they go, and Radio, and it's all about the run now. Up the hill, we've got a car flying off there, and that's Marco Sidicono who's got off there. He's off into the wall at Radio. Look at this, 3 wide, heading up the hill towards Les Combes, and it's going to be Bob Battella who'll take the lead around the outside into Les Combes. It's all getting a bit tight here. Will they all manage to get through? The answer will be yes, they do. Great driving, but Alex Saunders is really getting freight trained here into Rivage now, and the next one to go through is Martin Arnoldus, and he's also got Jeroen Rademacher trying to make the move. So our pole sitter, not the best start here, down to 5th place. He's dropped 4 positions on this opening lap. We've got battling further down the order as well as they're going now single file into Pouhon for the first time. Cars running wide out here. Tyres not up to temperature yet here in this race. Quite a pleasant day. Partly cloudy, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Matt Malone making a move up on Jesus Manuel. Car number 10, Jeroen Rademacher, just running wide on the exit at Fagnes chicane for the first time. Through Stavelo, and then Paul Freya. And it's important to get the run now, carry as much speed as you can through there. Use the slipstream of the car in front to try and make those moves. And we've got the number 9 car trying to get past Stendalo, trying to make a move. Not going to make that move yet. He's made him behind. He's looking to the inside. He's wanting that move into the bus stop chicane. Hard onto the brakes for the first time into the bus stop chicane. Through the right, through the left. He's getting under attack here from the number 4, which is Kamara. John Disborough also making a move up here, but at the end of the first lap, it's Bob Battella who's in the lead. Julian Dunn 2nd place. Martin Arnoldus in 3rd, and Dendela finally making that move down the inside of La Source, heading towards Eau Rouge, but Paddock fights back, gets the better exit out the corner, and that's him heading towards Eau Rouge. We've got side-by-side action, almost into the wall there. Was a couple of cars in front, and that was Shirabon, and also it was Hernandez trying to make the moves, but the lead is changing hands. Julian Dunn looking now, and he's got the move done on Bob Battella, that slipstream, making it count in towards La Source for the 2nd time in this race. Dendelo also making the move, but Paddock is fighting back as well. This changes all the way through, and this is what it's going to be like all the way through this race. It's going to be fantastic action as we go through Rivage. The leaders covered by a few tenths of a second, and well, we're going to have a look at the start then, and it wasn't the best start from Alex Saunders after La Source, but one man who definitely didn't have a good start was Marco Asidiakona, losing control and heading flying off as we've had a car drop back, and that's Katola. He's had a little bit of an incident further down the order. He's back up and running now. Yeah, Asidiakona, not the best start, flying off at Rivage, at the top of the hill at Radio, and that means that he is out of the race. Just one retirement so far in this race as we're going in towards the end of lap number 2, and Julian Dunn already feeling the need to try and break any toe, try and keep out of the draft of Bob Battella, because Bob, he's looking here. Beria driver through Blanchimont once again, the speed that they carry through there. Looking to the outside is Battella, not making the move for the time being into the bus stop chicane once again. And Martin Arnoldus now looking, he's wanting that move, he's wanting that 2nd place at the moment as they're heading over the line. Once again, it's Dunn, Battella, Arnoldus, Rademacher. Alex Saunders in 5th place has just set the fastest lap of the race so far, I believe. So that is him now getting up to speed. It's a bit of a breakaway here really in these front 6. This front 6 now just About as 2 seconds covering them. Then there's a little bit of a gap to Cherubin. That's because he was battling away, and here we go then. Battle for the lead once again, and done already through, already ahead still. But here comes Arnoldis now on Battella, trying to get up a position. They're going 3 wide here into Lecombe. Through they go. Dunn holds on to that lead on the outside, but here comes Arnoldis now on the inside of Malmedy, heading towards Rivage. We're going to go possibly 3 wide into Rivage. You don't really want to do that round here. And through the go, Arnoldis up into the lead now. Dunn getting forced wide, and here comes Rademacher. He's already made 1 position up on Battalla. He's trying to make it up on Dunn as well. Through the go now, and that's allowed Cherubin and the rest to catch up now. There's 3 seconds covering 1st to 11th as Rademacher runs wide through Puor. That's going to allow Bob Battalla to get back up ahead of him into the Fanyu chicane. Saunders can't really do anything at the moment. He's trying to go side by side, but he's going to be on the outside for Stavelot. He's decided against it, and now he's coming under pressure from behind. Harley Lewis is trying to make the move. Oh, there's contact further back as well. I heard a little bit of contact, but nothing serious, and everyone's still going here. But it's just a huge train of cars here. Tell you what, Johnny Simon, he's missed a right one this week, that's for sure. He'll be watching this back and thinking, oh, I wish I'd have done this one. But here we go, battle for the lead once again, in towards that bus stop chicane. And it's Arnoldis, Dunn, Battalla, Rademacher, Saunders, Harley Lewis, Cherubin, Hernandez, Paddock and Dendelot. That's your top 10, but there's more in that queue. Heading into La Source once again. Dunn, he's just waiting, playing the patient game. You want to wait until the exit of Radio to try and get the slipstream all the way up the Kemmel Straight. In fact, the front two are just making a little bit of a break, about 0.8 of a second between 2nd and 3rd now. And if they can just break away, work together with each other and break away, they would be away and singing. But there's Dunn now, using that slipstream around the outside. That overspeed really counts for something here. Into Lecombe, and that's the position done. Lead changed as more battling further down as well. It's really hard to make sure we keep an eye on everything that happens here. As I say, 6 seconds covering 1st to 16th place at the moment here, so great action here, and I hope you're all enjoying it here on Racebot TV and iRacing Live. It's Gillian Dunn who's in the lead of this one at the moment, but there's going to be plenty more twists and turns before we head to the end of this one, that's for sure. This race is far from over. On lap 4 of 15, and well, looking at how people have moved up in the field, Julian Dunn's up 2 positions, Arnoldis up 4 positions so far in this race. Alex Saunders, the big loss for him, 4 positions. That was all on that first lap as well, but really didn't get away well in that opening part of the race, so Saunders dropped back to 4th. And the rest of them all pretty much staying stagnant. Matt Malone made up 4 positions further down the order, so did Sean Disborough as well. Here we go then, headed in towards Blanchimont once again. And these cars are absolutely flat out. They've got enough aero to be able to go through Blanchimont flat out. Arnoldis looking to the outside of the bus stop chicane, trying to take the natural line. Rademacher looking on Bob Battalla as well. Bus stop chicane again, across the timing line they go, completing yet another lap in this race. And onto the brakes once again. Julian Dunn instead of faster lap time, but of course he did make that slipstream move on Martin Arnoldis. We've got side-by-side battling further back as well, heading out of La Source, down the hill. Devin Dendelot is there, and he's going to hold on to that position, Edward Gonzalo Camara. But they're just dropping back from the lead battle, and speaking of the lead battle, here we go again. Arnoldis to the outside, used that slipstream. A little bit of overspeed. Look at the drivers behind as well, all trying to battle it out, trying to make that position. But do you know what? Julian Dunn held his line there, late braking, through he goes. We've got contact further back, between 3 cars. Harley Lewis involved in there somewhere. So too was Cherubin, so too was Hernandez. Hernandez, who didn't have the best of races at Suzuka last time out. Oh, Jeroen Rademacher, a little bit of contact there. One of the cars is slow. Wide goes Bob Battella. Rademacher just gave that position back, very sporting of him, but that's allowed the front two now. The little instant there, it's just allowed the front two to break away now. They're about 1 second between them and third place Battella. Paddock is moving ahead of Cherubin, although they're side by side into the Fania chicane. And well, Cherubin is going to hold on to that position, but Everett Paddock trying to make the moves here. What a breathless start to this race this has been. Hernandez now trying to make the move on Lewis, and Lewis running wide out of Paul Freire. That is a position gained for Hernandez, Ismail Hernandez. Heading towards Blanchimont, and now Lewis is coming under serious pressure now from Cherubin. Through Blanchimont, Cherubin going completely off the road there. Through Alex Saunders trying to make the moves. They're going 3 wide behind, and that's into the bus stop chicane. One car off, and wow, what was that? Car completely flipped upside down. That's Cherubin. Your 4th place in the championship, trying to make the move on Lewis. Caught the back wheel up and over several times into the wall. He's out the race now. That's his race done with. Big drama into the bus stop chicane. There's going to be damage on Harley Lewis's car, which is going to affect him in this one. Wow. I've not seen that before happen there, but here we go then. Battle for the lead now. Battella and Aldis and Dunn going into Lecombe once again. Lap 6 of the race. Battella just got out of it, trying to take the better line through. He's bringing Rademacher into this one as well. 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th all together now. And all this fighting has now allowed Alex Saunders to have a look to the inside. Hernandez has joined into this battle as well. Harley Lewis, how's he still going? I don't know. Gonzalo Camara, has had an incident on this lap, and he's had to pull up. He's retired from this one. Try and find out what's happened to him, but we're keeping an eye on the battle for the lead. And well, I can tell you that Gonzalo, well, I don't know, he lost control at Lecombe, ends up off track, and he must have substantial damage. He's out the race now, so we've got 3 retirements out of this one. Your race lead battle still going on here. Half a second between 1st and 2nd. Julian Dunn is trying to make that breakaway right now. He's trying to get away from Arnoldis and Bob Battella. And the thing is, if those two carry on battling the way they have done, they'll allow that gap to happen. But the slipstream's coming into effect now through Blanchimont once again, heading towards the bus stop chicane. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, all scrapping between themselves. Oh, Arnoldis taking the wider line. Contact with Battella. And Jeroen Rademacher, not for the first time that's happened in this race. They carry on going. Arnoldis and Dunn still battling away. We're going to go 2 wide further back. Dunn taking the wide line. Arnoldis for the inside into turn number 1. Through he goes. We've got cars almost crashing further back behind them, but still. And now Arnoldis in the lead, but I think he's done that at the wrong place. Alex Saunders has dropped down the order. He's involved in that one at the La Source, and he's going to be ended up out of this race. He's got serious damage to his car, and that's it. He's out. But the lead battle, look at this, 3 wide, heading up towards Lecombe. Julian Dunn trying to get that lead back, and Aldis on the inside though. And Dunn carrying the speed around the outside of Lecombe. Around they go, and these guys who reaching the halfway point of this race, and they're still battling it out like it's the first lap of this one. It's incredible racing to watch, credible action. You just don't know where to look in this one. Heading down towards Poor once again. Double apex left-hander. Just a little bit of braking. Let the speed carry through here. Use the aerodynamics of that car. About 125 miles an hour in the apex, the first apex there. Then into the Fania chicane. On the brakes a bit more. 90 miles an hour. Through the first part. Second part, the left-hander. You want to get in the power nice and early. Carry the speed down the short straight into Stavolo. The right-hander. Carry the speed out the corner now. This is where you need to get as much speed out the Stavolo. You can flat out through Paul Freya and Gillian Dunn. Tried to just take a tighter line on the exit to try and break that train, but that train behind, they're getting closer now. It's a track of 3 distinct sectors here. Here comes Arnoldis, looking to the outside. Vitala and Hernandez is there. Arnoldis taking that wider line, not going to have the drive out the corner now, and he's coming under pressure. Here is Arnoldis. Vitala alongside him is going to go for second place into La Source. We saw an incident on the last lap. Here, Alex Saunders out the race. There's contact, and well, we've lost Batala. Arnoldis has got severe rear wing damage from all of that. That's them done. That's them out the Batala. Looks like he's out the race here. Obviously must have hit the instant limit in this one. iRacing, of course, a no-fault system. And yep, he's out the race, but now Arnoldis under serious pressure with the damage to his rear wing. That's going to slow him on all the straights here, and there's a lot of high-speed sections in this one, and he's dropped down to second place now. Ismael Hernandez takes that second place, and oh, around goes Arnoldis. He's going to take a car with him, and that's it. Bang, bang. Around he goes. It's always going to be a difficult job to hold on to that. We'll get a replay of that on screen, I'm sure. He just lost control in the second part of the Lacombe section of the track. Cars having to scatter, and Arnoldis is the latest victim of this one. Unbelievable. 2 of the drivers who were battling for the lead in this race, both out of the race. Hernandez now second place behind Julian Dunn. Then there's a big gap to Jeroen Rademacher. Harley Lewis has had something happen on this lap. He's dropped to the back of this train of cars. He's got a lot of front wing damage as well. So obviously all the damage accumulating from several incidents here in this one. Because Harley Lewis was the one who got who ended up sending Sheridan up in the air. Don't necessarily think it was his fault, but certainly that would have helped his car with damage. Position number 6 though, this is where the battle is. And Sean Disborough doing a fantastic job. Going to be close between the 2 of them. Into the braking zone, right and then left. And we'll have to see how this all pans out now and how it's all shaped up in the standings of this race. Julian Dunn leads, Ismael Hernandez in second place, Jeroen Rademacher on his own in third place, then it's David Dendelop in 4th with Francisco Fiorani even in 5th place. Then it's Sean Disborough 6th with Matt Malone up 12 positions in 7th place. Everett Paddock at 8th with Fabio Aoki in 9th and Jesus Manuel in 10th place. Looking at the slipstream going on, side-by-side action, and Ismael Hernandez up into the lead now, although Julian Dunn not giving this one up without a fight. They're carrying on, and they will keep the positions as they were. Matt Malone's getting involved, getting stuck in as well, through the right-hander down towards Rivage once again. Those guys battling it out down for 8th and 7th place. It's this league battle that's really intriguing. Ismael Hernandez, we've seen, really pushed his car. He's got slight front wing damage as well. Obviously got caught up in one of those incidents just a lap or so ago. We're on lap 9, of course, of this 15-lap race. As I say, 4.35 miles. Doing about 2 minutes 16 laps now are these drivers. We've got 6 retirements from this one. Bob Batala Martin Arnoldis, Alex Saunders, Gonzalo Camara, Massimilian Cherubin and Marco Asidiacono all out of this race, but it's that lead battle really close. Ismael Hernandez, I just think that front wing damage is just going to affect him slightly for his top speed. Through Blanchimont once again, heading towards the bus stop chicane. And Hernandez just holding back for the time being. He realises that it's maybe a good idea to just wait until you're going up the Kemmel straight to make that move. Across the line they go once again, but look at that queue of traffic from 4th place back. You've got Fioroni, Dendolo, Disborough, Paddock, Malone, Aoki, Manuel, Ridley and Lewis all together in a queue of traffic. And it's all quite close between those guys, but we're going to have to focus our attention on the lead because once again Hernandez has the slipstream here. Going up the Kemmel straight, use that slipstream, pull out to the left there. We've got 3 wide behind as well. Anything could happen further behind, but Ismael Hernandez on the outside. We've seen Julian Dunn pull the move around the outside before, and will he hold on to it? He was almost a little bit out of shape there, but made that move stick further back. They were 3 wide, they've sorted themselves out. And it is Disborough now who's in 4th place, Dendolo 5th with Fioroni in 6th place. Really close action between those guys, but it's a 3-way battle for the lead now because Jeroen Rademacher has been able to just reel these guys in front. He was 0.6 of a second faster on that last lap than Ismael Hernandez. Really has the advantage there, just able to catch up while those two were battling away. Through the Fania chicane they go. And still, Ismael Hernandez just pulling away slightly on Julian Dunn here. And Dunn trying his best to keep with him, but he's now, 0.7 of a second behind as they head on to the back section, heading towards Blanchimont. Maybe all this battling has just worked his tyres a little bit. Quite a warm track temperature, 86 degrees Fahrenheit on track through Blanchimont once again. But he's closing up now. He's got that slipstream, but I think he's just playing the waiting game he's done. He knows he's got, at the end of this one, he'll have, 5 laps remaining. As Dendolo down into the bus stop, trying to make that move stick. He's side by side on the exit there. Headed in towards La Source once again. Lap 11 of this race, been a fantastic race to watch this one. It's been a pleasure to commentate on this one as they're going 2 wide out of La Source. They're all sorting themselves out though. Oh, there's a little bit of squeezing going on with the pit wall. The number 7 car, Everett Paddock, having to just back off. But we'll look forward to the lead as Matt Malone. Oh, Everett Paddock's off! Big instant! He's into the wall! That's the end of his race. What on earth happened there? He slowed down and got tagged from behind by Matt Malone. But the lead of the race now, it's changed once again. Julian Dunn is into the lead there ahead of Ismael Hernandez. Jeroen Rademacher is in 3rd place. Meanwhile, the battle for 4th place now has been separated out a little bit with that instant. With Paddock, Francisco Fioroni up into 4th now ahead of Sean Disborough and David Dendolo. Through Rivage they go, and it's these packs that just battling away between each other. Gimlowitz now, the man who didn't qualify, didn't set a qualifying lap time. Let's have a look at his progress. He's running wide through the corner with no name. There he goes, and he's up into 13th position, up 8 positions. He started 21st on the grid. Not good day for him, the man who was doing all right, 7th place in the championship. Oh, and in fact, it's just got a little bit worse for him because he's dropping down, and that is Gimlowitz. He's out the race. He's in the wall, and it's on the exit of Pouhon. What happened there? It was through Pouhon they went. It was Gimlowitz and Drolet. Drolet looked to the inside. Gimlowitz came into the side of him, and that was it. out the race on the spot. Gimlowitz. And not been a good day for Senior Championship contenders here. Tell you whose good day it is so far though, it's Julian Dunn. He's in the lead of this one, ahead of Hernandez. Rademacher has just dropped back a little bit in this one, heading through now towards La Source once again, across the line, down the hill now towards Eau Rouge. And as we've seen all race long, it's all about that run through Eau Rouge out of Radion and up the Kemmel Straight. That's where it matters here at Spa-Francorchamps. Up the hill they go then. Hernandez looking to the outside. He's got that slipstream. He's used that slipstream, get that overspeed. He's going to move up in front of Dunn, but Dunn will hold his line. He's going to try and hold that inside line in towards Lecombe, and once again Julian Dunn holding that line. He's going to have it a little bit tight and twisty though through there. They almost go side by side through Lecombe and Malmedy, headed towards Rivage, and Hernandez is looking for the inside at Rivage. Not going to change position though there between them two. 23 cars started this race. We're down to 14 cars running. Had plenty of instants in this one, and certainly not going the way that some of the drivers wanted to, that's for sure. We're on lap 12 of this race, just 3.5 laps remaining in this one. Poor once again, the lead two. Just look to have the legs on your run, Rademacher, as they go into the Fagnes chicane now. And Hernandez, if he's clever, he'll wait until this last lap to make the move, or make the move on this lap, let Dunn by on the next lap, and then on the final lap make the move up the Kemmel Straight. It's the way it needs to be done. You've got to be clever as you head towards the end of the race here. Stay in reaching distance of that leader, Julian Dunn. Been fantastic display from him. He's kept his car clean as we're heading into the bus stop chicane. Here comes Hernandez. He's sort of feigning to the inside, looking to take his normal line though. On the brakes, a little bit squirrely there was Hernandez as they head into the bus stop chicane. Around the right and the left, and away they go once again across the line for another lap. We've got contact down at the bus stop chicane. I heard the contact there, and Matt Malone has dropped down. So too is David Dendelow, and I believe Dendelow is the latest man to retire for this race. He was caught by one of the cars, spun around, and that's his day done for Dendelow. He's out of this one. But here we go, lead battle going on. We're down to 13 cars in this one from a field of 23. Hernandez stayed behind a little bit longer this time. Up the Kemmel Straight, trying to squeeze Dunn a little bit. Dunn getting the middle of the track though, heading into Lecombe. And Hernandez round the outside at Lecombe. Dunn just has to get a look. There's a little bit of a squirrel there. Around he goes. Matt Malone's the latest one now, who's gone out this race as well. They're dropping like flies in this one. And it's all happened. It was on the exit of Radion. He already had damage, in fact, on his car. He had serious damage. He was struggling to control it, and he lost control on the exit of Radion, and is out the race. He's in the pits, and his day is done. So down to 12 cars in this one. Well, another one, and we'll have definitely lost half the field here. Into the Fagnes chicane for the leaders as we've had a look at the Matt Malone incident. Keeping an eye on the leaders though. That's what I'm doing here as we go through Stavelot once again. And Hernandez has just pulled out 0.7 of a second here through that middle sector. So it might be he's running not only a little bit more wing as well as having that little bit of damage on the front of his car. It just works because that middle sector of this track is very much more technical. You want that little bit of downforce to be able to go through those technical corners, and that's what might help him if he manages to get in, hold on to the lead in towards the end of this race. We'll be coming across the line. 2 laps remaining in this one, and these lead 3 still battling it out across the line. They go. This lap gone. Ismael Hernandez out in front, but that's like damage, as I say. But here comes Julian Dunn, championship leader. heading down the hill. He's in the perfect position. He doesn't necessarily have to try everything for the race lead. All he needs is a good result, and he'd be laughing all the way to the championship, that's for sure, with 1 week to go after this one. And these drivers now heading up the Camel Straight. Hernandez almost wants to let just done by here in this one. On the brakes hard. Right. Left. Through Lecombe. Aoki down in 4th place. And also Fiorini through the go. And Aoki has made the move up into that 4th place now. Fiorini down into 5th on this lap up the Camel Straight that was. We're headed down towards Poor once again. It's a run through Poor now. Dunn just can't seem to carry the speed through those mid to high speed corners there that Hernandez can. So I do think that Hernandez was carrying a little bit more wing on his car to try and get the faster car through that middle sector. It gives him a gap towards the end of the lap. You look at this half a second on the exit of Paul Freyer. Heading towards the end of this race now, and these guys, they need to start thinking about making moves. Julian Dunn needs to catch up to the back of Hernandez. Use that slipstream to catch up now. In towards Blanchimont. Once again, penultimate time as they head towards the bus stop chicane. And it's going to be all or nothing possibly. Through the bus stop chicane, through the right, through the left. Now we're going to be starting the final lap of the race. And Dunn and Hernandez and also Rademacher's there. He's not quite with them though. The 3 in 4th, 5th and 6th are pretty close together as well. But it's the lead battle that we're looking at here because Julian Dunn is pretty close. He doesn't want to get too close as they head into Eau Rouge and Radio. He wants to just have enough gaps so he can carry the speed through Eau Rouge. Use the slipstream, and here we go then. What a run! Dunn got through Eau Rouge and Radio. He's going to pull out on that right kink as they head up the Camel Straight, and here's Dunn for the race lead. Hernandez is going to drop in to the slipstream. Dunn almost wants to go defensive, and he does. Onto the brakes for the final time into Lecombe. They're going side by side through Lecombe. They're still side by side for the race lead. Dunn though holding on to the lead for the time being. Rademacher's trying to get close with them. They're still wheel to wheel though, heading into Rivage. I don't think Hernandez is going to have it. Tries to cut back. What a move on the exit of Rivage. Great jump there from Hernandez. It's not often that you'll see a move like that done. That's fantastic from Ismael Hernandez. Down towards Puor, and now Dunn, he needs to keep in the slipstream, keep right up behind Hernandez, but we've seen how Dunn isn't really able to carry the speed through these corners, through these medium speed corners like Hernandez is, but he's a lot closer on this lap into the Fagnes chicane. Look at this. This is going to be a slipstream race through Blanchimont heading towards the bus stop chicane. Dunn running a little bit wide though on the exit of the Fagnes chicane through the right hander at Stavler. Carry the speed now all the way to the end, and it's just a few more meters for Hernandez to go now. One of the most awe-inspiring corners coming up. Blanchimont, okay, maybe a little bit easier having that run off there, but here we go then. For the final time, Dunn closing up on the run through Blanchimont, looking to the outside. Here comes Rademacher as well. He's looking for the lead, heading into the bus stop chicane. Light on the brakes is Dunn. He's too late. He's outbraked himself. Here comes Rademacher around the outside, but it's going to be Ismael Hernandez across the line for the race win here in week 11 of the Pro Mazda Championship. What a race between those three. It's still going on for 4th place, and across the line, who's it going to be? It's going to be Fioroni in 4th place with Aoki in 5th, Ridley in 6th place. They were still pretty close further back as well, Vicente and Cotilla. But wow, what a finish to that race. We've still got a couple of drivers out there. Nick Carty is coming across the line in 10th place. Sean Disborough is in 11th, but all on his own. So too is Von Drolet. And that's going to be the final of your runners He'll come across the line then. Wow, what a race, what a finish to that one, cracking stuff. Well, let's take you through them. Your finishing order of this race. Week 11 here in Pro Mazda Championship, and it's Ismael Hernandez who takes victory by half a second ahead of Jeroen Rademacher. Julian Dunn, third place. I tell you what, he was unlucky that he outbraked himself there into the bus stop chicane, but a good podium there for championship leader Dunn. Fourth place, Francisco Fione. Fifth place, Fabio Ioke, with Craig Ridley in sixth place. Jesus Manuel in seventh, kind of on his own really there, when you consider the next two, Matthew Vicente and Timo Cotilla, 8th and 9th, half a second between those two. Nick Carty in 10th place with Sean Disborough 11th and Von Drolle in 12th place. And all the drivers who didn't finish, Matt Malone, David Dendelo, Everett Paddock, Harley Lewis, Aurelian Gimlowitz, Martin Arnoldis, Bob Battella, Alex Saunders, Gonzalo Camara, Similiano Sheriban, and then Marco Asidiacono. All the drivers who did not finish this race, but what a finish to this one. We'll have the roundup after this quick advert break. You're watching the Pro Mazda Championship on iRacing Live with RaceSpot TV. Welcome back to the Pro Mazda Championship here on iRacing Live, brought to you with RaceSpot TV. My name is Paul Smith with Hugo Lewis behind the cameras, and what a race we have just seen, battling from the lead from the green flag to the checkered flag, and in the end it's Ismael Hernandez who gained 6 positions in that race to win that one ahead of Jeroen Rademacher, with Julian Dunn, championship leader, ended up in 3rd place. And well, it is interview time, and we have got the man who was 2nd in the championship going into this race and was being involved in that lead battle earlier on, and Martin Arnoldis, talk us through that race, because you were involved in that lead battle to the start, and then it all seemed to go wrong, got that damage at the rear going into La Source.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I knew that it would be a draft fest, like everybody can win. So I had a good start anyway. Julian also, I think. So we get at 1 and 2, we get some good battles. But unfortunately, someone hit me at the back. I think the same guy as at Monza. So you can nothing do about it. But it's still, not good for the championship and not good for the last week in the final.
Well, this is it. I mean, it's week 11 of the championship. We go to Snetterton for the final week of the series. Snetterton, a track. Have you ever raced there at all?
In Toka 2 and Cars 2, I think, in the past. Yeah, I know that circuit. I drove, I think, 20 laps to practice, and it's technical. So I think it's much better racing than here, because the last 2 weeks I got so much DNFs because people are drafting in 5 wide cars, and I think iRacing need to update this draft because this is silly, and it's also dangerous. Everything goes wrong. I see a lot of people moaning about crashes, and yeah, so Stanton will be better, I think.
Well, I mean, I'm always a man of positives. He's still in there, of course, because they only count 8 weeks of the championship. Could still have a good result in the final week and end up challenging, if not taking the championship. You know, he's still going to go in with a positive mindset, aren't you, going into that final week?
Yeah, I think it will be like Imola's technical was technical, no race spot, but Suzuka was also technical. So with Julian, I had a good battle over there in Suzuka. So yeah, he has some strong points. He has some strong weeks, Julian. So for me, he needs a DNF, but I think I cannot take 80 points more because I have some strong weeks too. So will be very difficult, I think.
Well, you know, we're getting close to the end of the show, but before you want to go, anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to give a shout out to for sponsors?
First of all, thank you. We have 19 drivers who show up, so thank to them also. And hopefully it was a good show. Maybe not for me, but maybe for the viewers. So hopefully that. And yeah, thanks to the community. Thanks to Julian who makes setups. Thanks to Thomas who makes tutorials and to help people. So I want to thank the community, and we're still going strong. So next week, show up again, hopefully.
Yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic community. I mean, I've only been involved in 2 of these broadcasts, but the way that this Pro Mazda community all works together and helps each other, it's absolutely fantastic to see, and I'd love to see it grow even bigger and better going into the next season. But thank you. I was say thank you very much for joining us in the commentary booth, Martin.
Yeah, I go to bed. I need some sleep. And I'll watch this back. Maybe some good footage anyway. And I will use it for the season clip also. So stay and watch for the next week.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Martin, for joining us. And, well, as I mentioned, it is the final week next week, and we'll be showing that here on Racebot TV. It is Saturday, December the 2nd at 9:50 p.m. GMT. Make sure you check that out because it's going to be an absolutely fantastic race. And Snetterton always produces fantastic racing. It's not the widest track, but it's one that's technical, one that's got plenty of overtaking opportunities. I can't wait to be able to see that. But that is all that we've got time for here today. Just want to say thank you very much for joining us, for everybody watching this broadcast. It's certainly been a good one. And well, just want to say a few thanks. Thank you to Hugo Lewis in the cameras and for helping us out here on the broadcast. I've been Paul Smith, and don't forget also thanks to people like Andreas Werner from Anwan Designs for helping create this overlay design. Istvan Balot with the track cameras, and also the overlay animation, Simon Grossman from Apgeneer with their ATIVO program, and live timing, of course, Racebot TV live timing, brought to you with thanks from Nick Thiessen for his work. So make sure you join us next week for the finale of the Pro Mazda Championship here on Racebot TV and iRacing Live. You don't want to miss it. Good night.